What's up, everybody? It's your girl Nita, your favorite diva, and I'm back for All the Queen's Men. This is season 3, episode 4. The choice is yours. We're going to go ahead and get into it because I know it's a little bit late. This is going to be your spoiler warning, so let's get right on into it. The episode picks up where, the car had got blown up by Fernando. Blue and Tommy are sitting up there talking, trying to figure out whose car is rigged and all of this stuff. But they end up getting in the car to leave. It was so funny when when Fernando called her and acting bad or whatever. Give her address, tell her to meet him, call her a pussy, all the things. And Tommy is just like, no, this is a setup. Don't even do it. Davis and the chief of police was going back and forth with Casanova. Casanova is just dumb. They going back and forth saying what they're going to do, and they threatened to lock him up. He's like, no, I can get her trust. I can go back and get something. And they're pretty much just like, whatever. You got 24 hours. As Casanova is leaving, he gets made. And who is this girl? This girl is a friend of Trouble's, of course. You see Trouble and Rayshawn. Child, baby. When that boy was laying on her like he was so in love and like he was just like he was hugging a teddy bear. He is so... Girl, Rayshawn is a whole mess. Trouble's like, get off me. Trouble gets the call and she's pretty much telling Trouble that old white boy is a cop. So Trouble gets all hyped talking about I gotta go tell Madam, and Rayshawn was getting ready to go in the house. And then he was like, well, let me go in the house then. He was like, I won't mess with your strap. I fixed some dinner. She said, what you gonna cook? He said, ice cream. She was like, nigga. And then she rolled out, left him outside. He talking about, it's cold out here, let me in. In the next scene, Detective Davis and the chief of police is pretty much saying, going back and forth, talking about, I need a big bus. It's an election year. You promised me that you would get this big fish for me. I need this. He said his opponent is up by 5 points and he wants his job. So basically it's a lot riding on this, and that's about it with that. Oh yeah, I forgot that the chief of police was telling her to do by any means necessary. He needs the hungry girl back and not to do things by the book. Get the shit done. I said, uh-oh. They go back to Madam's house. Tommy and Joey gets into it, and he's just telling him he don't like him, he don't trust him, and to get out of his face. And then we get this from Tommy.
We have fresh sheets on the guest bedroom bed, with a touch of lilac powder sprinkled on the sheets, and a chocolate mint that I made into one of my special ginger Tommy cookies for you. What? Thinking you confused the shit out of me.
Man, when I tell you that part had me dead, I said, oh my God, they are so crazy. She was like, I don't know what you are. You confused the hell out of me. Franco knocks on Amp's door, and they sit down, they start talking and shooting the shit. And the long and short of it is that Amp talked too damn much. He told everything that happened with him, Dom, his ex-girlfriend, the girl that got bodied up in the shower, all the different bodies that he got. And I was just sitting up there like, damn, Amp.
Hush! You talk too much. Oh, girl, you never shut up. Goddamn!
Madam sends Doc to the place where the governor's daughter is supposed to be. He's still waiting for her. But he finds out that Detective Davis is there, and Madam is intrigued. She was like, "Okay, keep me on the phone, put me in your pocket, and let me hear how it goes." So they having some banter back and forth, some little flirty banter. The next thing you know, he gets up and put his D on her knee, and baby, she was like, "Oh my God!" And I know she was red tea. Then they go back and forth, and she jacks him up on the bar and everything. And Madam is like, "That is just what I need if I could get you to do that. But don't press too hard. But yeah, let's try to do that." Babyface and Midnight working out. They're talking about club business, talk about, keeping Frago in line and stuff like that. So they said that they'll keep an eye on him. Then we get this chick. She comes over, and she was there the other night, and this is where the money is coming from. So she said, he was like, "You saw me last night." She said, "And I want to see you again tonight." And he said, "Well, you gonna have that bread?" She said, "Yeah, you gonna do that thing I like?" And he said, "What's that?" "Make me choke." And he was like, "Oh yeah, I got that all day long." I said, "Oh dear." The next scene, Madam comes down from having a good night's sleep. She gets in there, she's talking to Tommy and Blue, and they was like, "We need to tell you about what happened." She was like, "What, the explosion at my club?" And he was like, "Yes, how'd you know?" "Joey told me. He also told me that trouble was outside of my house." And then also too, about the explosion, she said, Blue said, he put a bomb around his wife and blew her up and blew the car up. She was like, "God damn, that nigga took a page out of my book." But anyway, we were still just getting to just the principle of it. She keeps wanting to get Fernando based on the principle, and she like, "No, stand down." Tommy trying to talk some sense into Blue, talking about all she's going to do is go to that address that he gave her and go get in a shootout and get herself killed. And she was like, "Oh, he sent you an address?" And she was like, "Oh, that's in the hood." And Blue also tells her that Midnight's money is your money. And she was like, "What?" She was like, "Yeah, I've been pretty much peeping game, and all his bills is your bills. They're all blacklighted." And they was like, Tommy was like, "I'ma kill him." She was like, No, we're not gonna do that. I went too fast on my nephew. I'm not gonna do that." And she's just convinced that that's not in Midnight's character. We're not even going to question that. We're going to figure out what else is going on. Big D, he kind of growing on me, y'all. He is kind of growing on me. He has a little, is that a NOLA accent? I don't know what it is, but it is so cute. But anyway, sometimes it's cute, sometimes it's not. But he go up there talking to Dime, flirting with her, talking about, he ain't have a good night because you ain't call him. And he was like, I came to work early so I could see you, and I want to practice my dance moves. So he asked her to come down on stage and play the song for him so he can practice the dance moves. The next thing you know, she does it. It's cute. They get down, he started dancing for her, whatever, and then Aunt walks in with Frago. Man, then next thing you know, first she's all saying no. Then all of a sudden she yes. That girl's a mess. I'm talking about he want to watch. Frago was trying to take him away, like, "Man, don't even do this to yourself. Come on, let's just go." And so eventually he walked away from Dime and said, "Fuck you, Dime," and went in the back. Afterwards, Big D was sitting up there like, "Man, do you see how hard you got me just from looking at you?" And he's like, "All I gotta do is slide it to the side." She was like, "Well, at least you don't have to beef up." So at Eden, Tommy sees Casanova, and he's like, "What's up?" He was like, "I was out sick. I'll tell Madam." So then Tommy calls Madam to let her know that Casanova is back at the club. Here comes Trouble. All right, Trouble gets up there. Madam is like, "What? I don't feel like doing this." She basically tells her that Casanova is a cop. Tommy goes up to the amateur dressing room, tells Casanova that Madam wants to see him in her office. Child, if I don't tell you that man came in there, he was extra fidgety, like his hands was fidgeting. I was like, ooh, Casanova, tighten up. And she was like, yeah, I think you're wearing the wires. So he strips down, takes off his clothes or whatever. Madam ends up telling him that every time he comes through the metal detector, something goes off. So she gives Tommy this device to find this thing. He finds it in his ear, and she was like, oh, y'all getting real high tech with me, ain't y'all? The amateur dancers are dancing on the stage. Of course, Trouble gets up there, do too much. Dime is telling her to get off the stage, and she talking about, I need a solo, I deserve a solo. And she said, get off the stage until the queen crowns you. So that's no. So Madam comes out, and Tommy like, you look nice. And I guess she had to change her clothes because we getting ready to take care of some business down there in the basement, okay? The next thing you know, her phone rings. It is, of course, none other than Concierge. And baby, when I tell you, he had a little bit of fear in his voice for me. Like, I was like, uh-oh, I think you know who this is. And then he tells her that she beefed up her security. He knows this, he knows that. And she's like, oh, okay. And then...
And he's giving me a mandate.
A mandate? Okay. What's that?
There needs to be a reckoning. And now I have to touch something that you hold dear to you.
Well, that might be a little difficult because I don't know shit, dear.
You sure about that?
Positive.
We shall see.
Is that it?
I didn't tell you about the second part of the mandate.
Right. So what's the second part?
That you or someone you love is going to hang from the bridge in Guadalajara in the afternoon sun. Sleep well, madam.
So Madam runs into Trouble down in her office. Tommy is like, I told her don't come down here. He's like, what's up? What do you want? And then she was just like, I want a solo. I'm trying to prove to you I'm loyal. Like, can you give me a chance? Da, 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 da. Then Madam was like, okay, I'll give you a chance. She said, you trying to prove you're loyal, right? Then she goes in the room where Casanova is in the basement and gives her a gun and tell her to kill him. And I said, da 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 da. Girl, Trouble, put your clown mask on, because you ain't got what it takes to do what you need to do. All talk, no action. So that was where the episode ends, y'all. Y'all let me know, what did you think about it? How do you rate it? What are your predictions? Where are we going? Does Detective Davis want the D? Let me know down in the comments. Concierge, how do you think he's going to make his big, grand reemergence? How do you think that's going to go down? You let me know down in the comments. Make sure you catch me back next week for the next recap. And I'll talk to you later. Don't forget, I'm Nita, your favorite diva. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, don't forget to come back. Bye, y'all.